Close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and take a slow, deep breath. Allow the quiet stillness of the room to settle around you, warm and peaceful. Tonight, we will journey back through the long, drifting centuries of a world that grew, bloomed, and softly transformed over thousands of years. We will wander down the quiet stone paths of ancient Rome, listening to the gentle murmur of history as it flows like a slow, calm river toward the sea. Imagine, if you will, 7 peaceful green hills rising beside the winding, silvery ribbon of the Tiber River. Long ago, before there were great marble temples or grand stone arches, these hills were brushed only by soft winds and covered in tall, swaying grasses. It was a place of quiet pastures, wild fig trees, and gentle summer rain. The old stories tell us that it was here, among the oak groves and rolling slopes, that 2 brothers, Romulus and Remus, found a place of rest. In the quiet warmth of a distant spring morning, around the year 753 before the Common Era, the first small wooden homes were built on the Palatine Hill. Shepherd fires twinkled like fallen stars in the dusk, and the slow, rhythmic sound of wooden spindles weaving wool filled the evening air. For 200 years, this modest settlement grew softly under the care of early kings. They cleared peaceful meadows, planted olive groves, and laid down the simple foundations of a community bound by shared customs, gentle autumn harvests, and a deep reverence for the quiet spirits of the earth and sky. In time, the age of kings gently faded, giving way to the early Roman Republic. The people wished to guide their own destiny, meeting together in a central, open valley that became known as the Forum. Picture the Forum at golden hour, bathed in the low, amber rays of a setting sun. The air is warm, carrying the faint scent of baking bread and dried herbs. Citizens walk slowly down the gravel paths, dressed in long, comfortable robes of soft white wool, speaking in low, measured voices about laws, farming, and the quiet rhythm of civic life. Decades turned into centuries, and the world of Rome expanded, not with sudden haste, but like the steady growth of an ancient oak tree. Smooth, straight roads carved from gray river stone began to stretch out from the city like warm ribbons across the landscape. The famous Via Appia drifted south through quiet fields, past vineyards heavy with grapes, linking small towns and quiet villages. Stone bridges, built with perfect, restful arches, stretched over cool, murmuring streams, allowing travelers to journey safely beneath the shade of towering pine trees. As the Republic matured, its influence softly gathered the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. The Romans called this calm, blue expanse Mare Nostrum, our sea. Imagine sitting on a quiet stone quay in the warmth of late afternoon, watching wooden trading vessels glide into harbor with their broad canvas sails catching a soft, gentle breeze. They brought jars of golden olive oil from sunny hillsides, sweet dried figs, woven textiles, and quiet jars of wine, connecting distant lands in a shared, peaceful web of trade and conversation. Eventually, the Republic reached a time of quiet transformation. The old ways shifted smoothly into a new age, guided by the calm hand of Augustus, who became the first emperor. Augustus spoke softly of restored peace, and he closed the doors of the Temple of Janus, signaling to all the world that a long, restful era had begun. This was the start of the Pax Romana, the Roman peace, a long afternoon of tranquility that rested over the Mediterranean world for more than 200 years. During this golden time, the city of Rome transformed into a quiet masterpiece of cool marble and shady porticos. Water from distant, cool mountain springs flowed continuously into the city through great aqueducts, magnificent arcades of stone that crossed green valleys like sleeping giants. The water glided softly into public fountains, bubbling with a soothing, endless murmur, cooling the summer air and supplying warm, relaxing public baths where people gathered to rest, read, and quietly unwind after the day's gentle tasks. Imagine walking through the city during these peaceful years. The sun is low, casting long, calm shadows across grand colonnades. In quiet libraries, scholars roll out smooth scrolls of parchment, writing poetry and philosophy by the soft glow of small clay oil lamps. Outside, the leaves of cypress trees rustle softly in the evening breeze. Among the emperors of this thoughtful age was Marcus Aurelius, a man who loved quiet reflection above all else. In the quiet of his tent at night, under a wide canopy of cold, brilliant stars, he wrote his personal thoughts in a journal. He reminded himself to be kind, to accept the slow, natural turning of the world, and to find peace within his own quiet mind. His words were like a calm lantern, glowing softly in the vast expanse of history. As the centuries continued their long, steady march, the great empire began to softly shift once more, like the gradual changing of the seasons. The world was vast, and the warm light of Rome began to divide gently into two friendly lamps to better care for all its people. In the east, beside the shimmering blue waters of the Bosphorus, the Emperor Constantine built a new capital, Constantinople. This new city rose softly like a jewel by the sea, bathed in the cool ocean breezes of the east. It was a place of high dome roofs, beautiful mosaics made of tiny glass tiles that caught the morning light, and quiet gardens tucked behind strong, comforting stone walls. While Constantinople blossomed with vibrant, calm life, the older western half of the empire began to settle into a quiet, peaceful evening. This slow twilight was not a sudden storm, but a gentle, winding down of a long day. Over generations, the distant borders grew quiet. New peoples drifted softly across the rivers, bringing their own songs, customs, and quiet traditions into the Roman world, blending slowly like two streams joining into one broad, calm river. The great stone villas of the countryside, once bustling with estate life, grew peaceful and still. Moss grew softly over the cool marble steps of older buildings, and wild ivy climbed gently up the ancient archways, wrapping them in a blanket of deep green leaves. The heavy, formal systems of government gradually softened, giving way to smaller, quiet communities tucked into the valleys and hills. By the 5th century of the Common Era, the Western Empire had softly laid down its heavy cloak. The last of the Western emperors quietly stepped aside, and the ancient city of Rome rested peacefully under the night sky, its long, grand journey complete. But nothing was truly lost. The warm light of its culture, its laws, its language, and its quiet stone monuments remained, resting deeply in the soil of the world, nurturing everything that would come after. The Latin language softly dissolved into the musical spoken tongues of the night: Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian, floating softly on the lips of mothers singing lullabies to their children across the centuries. The solid stone arches and quiet aqueducts remained standing in the countryside, timeless monuments to a deep, enduring calm, resting beneath generations of moonlight. Think now of those 7 ancient hills, standing silent and serene under a vast, star-filled sky. The Tiber River still flows gently past their bases, its cool waters reflecting the quiet silver light of the moon, just as it did thousands of years ago. The air is still and warm. The lingering scent of pine and stone rests softly over the ancient valley. The long story of Rome is a story of quiet beginnings, grand peaceful afternoons, and a slow, beautiful twilight that gently settled into rest. Everything moves in a calm, steady circle. Every long journey returns to stillness. Every day turns softly into night. Feel the deep, ancient peace of this long history resting around you now. There is nowhere you need to go, and nothing you need to do. Like the ancient stones resting beneath the quiet Mediterranean stars, you are warm, safe, and supported. The soft, steady breath of history whispers through the quiet leaves of the olive trees. The night is quiet, the air is calm, and the long, slow stream of time carries you gently toward a peaceful, dreamless sleep. Rest now, deeply and completely, as the world slumbers softly in the timeless, quiet dark.